Good morning, good afternoon. I'm glad that you have you for this webinar. First, because in fact there are so many of you. We broke kind of a record with thousands of registration for this webinar, and also because we're going to talk about a very interesting project, artificial intelligence in intellectual property. But of course, when we talk about artificial intelligence, I will say it's more to talk about generative AI. Artificial intelligence is not really a new subject at Questel. We have used neural networks for many years, but what is really important right now is to look forward and to talk about what impact generative AI can have right now, because we think it's more just a technological change. And today is the first webinar of a series about artificial intelligence. We're going to focus on SaaS product, so it's going to be a SaaS viewpoint. But during this year also, we will have, in fact, other webinars organized by Questel to talk about artificial intelligence in IP data, but also in services like translation or annuities. So let's, I will say, explore, in fact, from the SaaS point of view, what artificial intelligence and generative AI will change for you in the coming months and years. Benoit Chevalier, I'm the director of the product development at Questel. I've been for many years an IP strategist in a consulting firm that I've consulted with some of my friends many years ago, called Avignon Consulting. And I will say my experience in the search and the analytics done around the patents right now is very interesting when I see the capability of artificial intelligence. To be honest, I'm quite jealous because 10 years ago, if I had these tools, I would have done a far better job. So yes, let's do it. Let's talk about that. So the agenda of the day, objective really is to explore what generative AI will have an impact in the different IP assets that we right now manage with our tools. So we're going to start talking with patents, and after, of course, we're going to see what's going on AI and for trademarks and designs, and we also explore other assets. Speaking about copyrights and trade secrets. And of course, we're going to finish with a conclusion. But for once, let's start with the end. We're in 2035. Comfortably, in fact, settled at home, teleworking. You've got an inventor that spent his last 4 days during the week on his invention, assisted with his R&D bot, a perfect assistant for testing, for example, physics and technical hypotheses of the inventor. And during the ideation process, in fact, he's also with an integration of 3D printer, he starts, in fact, doing a prototype. So you can picture this person like a Tony Stark out at work. So here we see really what could be AI. It's a tool to democratizing creativity. So the inventor finishes his invention. He asks his bot, for example, to enter his invention into the company's IP management system, the IPMS. And once it's done, the case is officially assigned to a patent engineer automatically. So it means the fraction of a second, you've got an invention that will be filed in the blockchain for proof of existence. Trade secrets will automatically be identified and registered in the IPMS, and a smart contract will be set up just as soon as the events occurs. Like, for example, if you have a filing, a publication, or licensing, well, you will, the inventor will receive a predefined financial transaction directly into his bank account. Second phase, the prep and pros bot linked to the IPMS receives the event that a new case has been assigned to his patent engineer, and he'll alert it by modifying his schedule and take automatically new tasks into account. The patent engineer, for this part, starts studying the invention. Is using, like, for example, a virtual reality device to study the diagrams, the figure, and analyze the prototype made by the inventor with a 3D printer. And while thinking about the best protection strategy, patent, design, AI creation, and yes, why not? In fact, maybe new type of IP asset will emerge of this revolution of AI. So while he's thinking about, in fact, this strategy, you have a search bot that will come back with all the most relevant prior arts to consider for this invention. After a few hours of analysis, the patent engineer feels ready to begin to detect what there is to claim. And he will, in fact, explain that to the prep and pros bot. So the later complete the rest of the document. He lets the patent engineer validate all that. And a extension strategy, so it means filing in Europe, extended in the US, will automatically created in the IP management system, and a priority patent application is sent to the EPO bot. And by the way, just because the filing occurred, the inventor starts receiving a reward directly in his bank account. And after 1 week, our patent engineer and his prep and pros bot find themselves in a chat with the EPO bot, which challenge them, of course, on the patentability of the invention, eventually leading to issuance of a positive opinion for the patent grant, but also, in fact, with a prediction of the patent's value and a prediction about the essentiality of this invention regarding some standards X, Y, Z. And if it's positive, if it's granted, the inventor will receive, in fact, the second payment directly in the bank account for the grant of the patent. So of course, we are not in 2035. What I just mentioned maybe will happen in 30 years, maybe in 5 years, or maybe never, just part of an alternative reality. But quietly, in the background, AI has already been changing and continues to change how IP portfolios are created and managed. Why? Because the world of intellectual property is a true sweet spot, in fact, for automation technologies and artificial intelligence. Our market is traditionally powered by paper, manual searches, manual data entry, lengthy decision-making process. So artificial intelligence can be really used to ease day-to-day tasks and produce increased insight for IP data. That's why AI, and generative AI in particular, is going to be especially recognized for having a strong leverage effect for improving efficiency and productivity and reducing risk. For example, the risk of not having a patent, the risk of obtaining a low quality patent, the risk of being counterfeited, the risk of having a security breach. So all that will be, in fact, managed by AI. Now, what artificial intelligence do? So we're going to focus on generative AI, but as a rule, in fact, an AI is a technology for organization when you want to solve highly complex and data-intensive problems. So one use case is artificial intelligence will help to pilot. AI can generate documents and drive workflows. That's really important, for example, when you think about create smart contracts, when you want to docket IP assets in invention, when you want to generate correspondences or aiding in the generation of new IP assets. What generative AI will be also very strong is to analyze. It can really provide suggestions and or gist of a situation. It will summarize your IP asset. It's already summarizing your IP asset. It will compare images, claim, documents. Proofread and data check will be done without any quality issue because of the artificial intelligence. Case law support, very helpful when you want, for example, to be helped during a litigation or when you want to get support during the prosecution. and it will also help you to, I would say, have an alternative view to identify technical effects, problems, identify patterns also when you are analyzing a cluster of patents. Artificial intelligence is already used a lot also to classify, because you can really manage the ever-increasing IP data creation because of it. So classify correspondences, citations, classify patents by trends, by market, rank them according to some situation. AI already proposed a lot of solutions to help our patent reviewer or patent searcher on this domain. And finally, predict. That's something also that is already there for a long time. AI can predict action, forecast patentability, forecast monetization, but with generative AI, the possibility to analyze big data, or in fact, metadata, it will be able right now also to make some breakthrough when it comes to the essentiality or detecting, for example, infringement risk or lawsuits. So briefly, generative AI will have a strong impact for any repetitive, highly structured, burdensome, instructive steps. So every time you don't have a significant human interaction, AI can step in and take the job for you. So this concerns, of course, activities like data entry, reports, doing summary, supporting, assisting, this kind of tasks will be fulfilled by an algorithm, like a bot, an AI. Now, AI in patents. So it's with great pleasure, in fact, that I want also to announce that Questel has acquired the startup, the French startup, qatent, a startup that is specialized in both artificial intelligence and intellectual property, founded in 2022. So it's an AI-empowered drafting. It helps IP professionals to draft quality patents more quickly using artificial intelligence. So with me today, I've got the founder, François Veltz. So François, can you in fact tell me a bit more what has been your journey and how in fact you come with this idea of qatent?
Hi everyone, I'm François Veltz. I'm a French patent attorney, and as I am a French patent attorney, I worked in the patent departments of IBM, then Roche Diagnostics in Germany, and then for law firms for many years. I drafted more than 200 patent applications. And actually, after I left a long time ago, I got very interested in natural language processing applied to patents. And a couple of years ago, we founded with my co-founder, we started the project called qatent, which is now part of Questel, which is a fantastic boost for us. So I'm going to show you a very fast demo of the product. Actually, the complete tour requires more than 1 hour, 1 and a half for the very specialized features like reference numerals management and also drawings annotations. But I'm going to show you what we have in a couple of minutes. Just to go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. So actually, so if you want to have a complete tour of the product, you can go on qatent.com and contact page, and you can take an appointment with me, and I will do the tour for you in depth. So actually what you can do, you can start generating your patents from 2 types of inputs. So you have the invention disclosure. You can upload your PDF, your preprint, or your invention, the memo by the inventor. So I'm not going to show you that today, but instead I just start by a simple claim tree that I have preloaded. And you can see it's I have like 10 claims here. So I'm going to click on generate patent applications. The computer is going to have a generation is going to compute the relationship between words. It's going to make classification work, a lot of tasks in the cloud, in secure environments, guaranteeing confidentiality and cybersecurity. And then the output in a couple of minutes is done here. You have the outline of your patents, and for each section of the patent, we have one or more AI models that do the computations. It means, for example, for the problem statement, the initial technical problem, we have one or two models in competing models, and you see the outline that you recognize here for your patent. So basically what you do is that you click the title, which is computed automatically from the claims. If you want to see some alternatives, you click on the light bulb, on the yellow bulb here, and then I can get some more detectable title if I want to. I can go into the technical field to see how it has been classified. Then I can go to the background art section. Of course, the integration with Questel will boost this a lot, because for the moment it's a standalone, a dump of the database, but we will integrate with the full databases of Questel. So I want to change another one. I want to choose another prior art document. I can choose, for example, this one, and it's replaced on the left. Then I have problem statement, which is the initial technical problem, which I'm not very fond of, because for many reasons. Then I have my summary. So I can drag and drop everything I want in the order I like. So my practice is to recopy in the summary, to recopy the abstract, which is not part of the application. So it is also computed by an AI. And then usually I place here the advantages and technical effects in the European meaning. So you can see here we have the recopy of claim 1, and then we have 1, 2 advantages. And then we have global advantages, and then we have advantages with additional characteristics. So for example, this is recopy of claim 2, 1 advantage, 2 advantages, etc. for all claims. So this can be very useful. If you don't like something, you can delete very easily, or edit in the text, whatever you want, and reorder by drag and drop. Then the drawings, we have the implementation of what is called an LVLM. It's a language vision, large language model. So it's a combination of computer vision with OCR and also with an LLM. And since we know the context of the claim, we have good annotations of drawings also, so based on computer vision. So the detailed description, we have many things in there. I have few times to explain to you what is there. So for example, we start with definitions. We extract the definitions from the NIST, National Institute for Standards in the US, Wikipedia, the patent corpus database itself. And we propose to you many different definitions if you like that. If you don't need these definitions, you can click here on deactivate the section, and it's going to be stored in inactive section, so you can call that later on. And then I'm going to intertwine claims with definitions. So you see here input, I open a parenthesis and put the definition. More interesting, I go to the synonyms. So instead of having the definition, I just inject synonyms. And the same thing for intermediate generalizations. In this case, we play with hyponyms and hyperonyms that are words that are more specific or more generic. And this way you can have different levels of abstractions being combined in your claims, and this can be very useful for prosecution, of course. And we have many different modules. I cannot enter into the details. Claim categories, we summarize claims. We have boilerplates, which are recurrent paragraphs, incentive to combine, invariant boilerplates by CPC classes, etc. Reference numeral list, because we manage reference numerals. It's very time consuming. And after you can, when you have generated your patent, you can take, for example, any part of the patent here and say, okay, I want to change this text. And here you have a predefined prompt. So I want, for example, to elaborate on this particular. So if I click here, it's going to take this text as an input. It's going to compute an output, and I can replace that. So we have many prompts being defined here. We have access to alternatives, access to validations, check unclaimed matter, support quality. Variance is the access to the ontology. Paraphrasing, I just talked about that. A smart search will be improved with Questel. A way to store your text and a way to mark up your text because you want to exchange with your inventor or your peers. And when you're done with that, you go to export in the next button. And if you go to export, you're going to see a different bunch of options, and you can make the clean export in PDF or in a docx format, and or you can choose to have the markup being exported to have communications with your colleagues, and then you get a document which is around 30 pages. Depends on the modules you choose here. I'm adding constantly new modules, which are, for me, ways to inject my prompts. So I vary time, scale, claims categories, and so forth. I can blockchainify a software patent application, medicalize something, etc. So you have a wide diversity, which I'm striving to increase the diversity thereof. And then you can export your document and work on that. Of course, we encourage you to stay on the platform, to use our software tools that we are developing. And I'm done. So if you want to have a more complete vision of the product, contact me and I will be very happy to show you the product. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, François. So as he said, if you are interested by the product, please contact your, in fact, sales representative. Don't forget that you can also, in fact, contact directly François Veltz of qatent by using the email address you see below his title. Another big announcement, Questel has partnered with IPQuant to distribute qatent. IPQuant is a Swiss company, also focused on intellectual property and artificial intelligence, founded in 2018. It's kind of a co-pilot for, I will say, help you with the productivity and efficiency when you are right now in the workflow of your prosecution. So to collect all documents at once, to be able, in fact, to annotate, work, generate answers, and artificial intelligence boost all these features with, I will say, a very smart prompt engineering done to reduce your time when you want to analyze a document. So it's going to be like a chatbot. You will authorize your document received from the EPO or the USPTO. And after, you will feel free to ask questions in the context of your patent application, and it will help you to, let's say, prepare, for example, a client report letter, or to list all the technical problems or benefits that has been disclosed in a document. So it's very powerful. It really saves you time, and again, you have this vision that quality of the response, quality of the work needs to be very high, more and more. And if you are interested by qatent, please also contact your sales representative, or directly go to our website to take a meeting, and it will be a pleasure for us to make a demo and let you test IPQuant. After these two announcements, let's talk about now, I will say, our product. So at Questel, we've been leaders with our world-class software regarding search and analytics for years. We have three main software: Orbit Intelligence, for all the experts in patentability search, prior art, landscaping, and so on. Orbit Express for all the R&D engineers, people who want to quickly be able to search patent and non-patent literature. And Orbit Insight, dedicated for the R&D manager, innovation manager, people who want to get some dashboards and work on the different metrics that can be used to analyze a market. So, virtuous circle or vicious circle, it depends when you see it. AI will reinforce the number of IP assets. There is no future where you don't see, in fact, with, for example, the help with the drafting, the help with the examinations, the help with the search. There is no future where you don't have more and more patents filed, examined, and even, I will say, litigated and licensed. So globally, because you have this number of IPs that will increase, you can have an IP documentation and resources that will expand. And finding pertinent information among this enormous quantity of data will be really challenging. So that's why searches is going to be super important, and patent reviewing extremely key when you want, in fact, to minimize the risk of your IP asset. So at Questel, already right now on Orbit Intelligence, you have the possibility to have some summarization and other features to assist you when you review a patent. So what does it mean? In fact, it means if I go to Orbit Intelligence, this is a hit list I have received after a search query done on drug and artificial intelligence concepts. I've got this, I'll say, these claims, and sometimes you get some difficulty because you want, for example, to share this information with your engineers or with your manager, or you want to prepare a report. So you can quickly, in fact, ask Orbit Intelligence to summarize the information. So we use for that API of ChatGPT. So it's based on public information. It's under the Questel account, so no data, your account are not disclosed at all. And it helps, in fact, to quickly get a substantial summarization of what is a claim one. So you see, we remove all the difficult, I'll say, terms that are often related to a patent. We summarize also all the dependent claims, can be numerous, so focusing on what is really important. And of course, you can copy paste that and start working on your report. Other features, I'm an engineer in telecommunication. I don't really know what carbamate means. I can easily, in fact, ask for technical explanation. So it will provide technically in a definition coming from the web, from Wikipedia, and what sources have been used by OpenAI to build ChatGPT. But in addition, because of the prompt engineering we are doing, it will take into context, in fact, the patent, because we provide title, abstract, and key part of the description to say, okay, give me the definition of this word, taking into account the context of the patent. So it helps to have something that will be related to your patent documentation and not just a global definition of the term. And last features also useful. You may also want to create a glossary just to quickly have some definition. So for that, you select, let's say, the first claim. You can also select the full claims, and automatically the most difficult word or the most weighted keyword will be identified, and a general definition will be provided. So it helps also to review the patent more easily with this information. Other, I will say, innovation made with, in fact, our artificial intelligence concept, that's the possibility to have, when you review a patent, the different definition of the numbers in the figures, with the possibility after to automatically see where they are mentioned in the description. These features is made also because of our new search engine and some AI algorithms that will interpret the data, identify correctly what is defined in the drawing, and makes a link between definition of the component, for example, and the drawing. And we still have also our AI classifier, or binary AI classifier, that will help you when, for example, you have a list of patents that comes in an alert and you want automatically to remove what is not relevant. So you have the possibility to train, to create your own small model by selecting at least 10 patents that you consider relevant or not. And this model will learn from what you propose, and basically after you will be able to get a score saying, okay, this patent 85% is relevant regarding your needs, so you need to keep it in your work file. So it helps also to break the back of the work, to focus on some patents and quickly remove what is nice in your landscape or in your watch, and particularly when it's a watch that's coming periodically in an alert. And in Orbit Insight, we have also integrated an insight bot. So when, for example, you carry out a search, you put a keyword, it will automatically provide synonyms that are updated with the existing definition in the prior art, a description, and key definition also that can be used, in fact, to understand the market. If you need, for example, to say, okay, large language model, I've got the synonyms, but most of the time it's related to deep learning or transformer architecture. Maybe also I can add that to restrict my search. So it's a co-pilot. It's an assistant when you want to create a search query in Insight, and it's super helpful for all the R&D manager and engineers that most of the time may not are aware of all the different other concepts used by the patent engineers to define a technology in a patent. So that's the present. Regarding the future, coming soon, we will really provide in Orbit Intelligence an assistant that, of course, will include existing concepts like the claim summary, but will add new features like the patent summary, and also the publication comparator when you want to compare claims to identify what has been added or what has been removed from, let's say, the US member and his counterpart in the Chinese jurisdiction. And it's going to be also our launchpad, our new launchpad for many other module features that will help you, that will provide you support when you want to, I will say, analyze a patent according to different strategy. So it's going to be things related to freedom to operate, to analyze document and essentiality. So the future is super bright on this aspect, but just be aware that soon an AI assistant will be provided in Orbit Intelligence, and you will all be able to benefit it. So that's for search and analytics. Let's now talk about patent management. That's the next frontier for me. That's something also where you have a lot of things to do with the generative AI, because right now, when you take into account, for example, an IPMS, companies have some practice because of the risk reduction to do some double docketing. You also double docket between your IPMS and the IPMS of the law firm. You have also a time-consuming insight process when you want to find the correct information, the correct report. You have paperwork everywhere. Do the data entry, let's say, for example, to put all the information for one case, and after you want to duplicate the case to have the European counterpart and the extension, and you want also to get this information to do, let's say, a licensing project. All that is time consuming. And above all that, you have also tons of emails everywhere that are coming. We try to do automation, but let's be honest, all the different tasks done by human lead to a lot of potential processing errors. So you see me coming. Generative AI and AI in a whole will really help our paralegals and our patent attorneys and IP managers to better manage their patents And when I say patents, I can also here include trademarks, design, and any IP assets. So what could come next? Let's say just when we talk about the support and reporting. Automated reporting, it means you have like a list of patents. We have been asked to prepare the next IP committee. So for that, you will be easily just asking something to your IPMS. Please generate the support document for the next IP committee, March 15, according to a template that you will already saved for the selected patents. You know the template? When I say he knows it, the AI knows the template, and automatically it will extract the information of the selected documents, create and generate the document Word, and let's say you can even, in fact, send them directly to the member of the IP committee. So now it's time for our first poll. So I will invite you, in fact, to answer this question. Now you have seen everything. Where do you most expect a contribution from generative AI in patents? To realize this kind of information is also really important because at the end of the day, use case and how it's gonna help you is really what makes a difference. So you have different proposals to carry out, for example, an image search to help you with the draft patent, like we see with qatent. To help you also to get better your patents, how we have, I will say, try to explore in the recent slides, or to assist you during a prosecution. Or it could be other meaning, let's say, for to carry out a landscape and patent landscape, or to identify infringement. I don't know. So I give you sometimes to answer. I see already you are already, in fact, proposing some answers. So the results, 29% of the participants this morning or this afternoon for people in Asia considers that to help you to draft your patent is your, I'll say today, main contribution of generative AI. And it's closely followed by the image search. So thank you, in fact, for participating, and let's continue this webinar. So now we're going to switch to, in fact, another topic, trademarks and design. Here too, in fact, AI tools can really help to automate and enhance the creation of unique logos and product designs. So right now at Questel, we have a SaaS product called Markify. It's a world-class software also to help you with your trademark and designs searches and watch. Included in this Markify tool, you have an image search at your disposal, and it's based on predictive AI, meaning, in fact, we have trained a neural network to automatically identify logos that have been included, a pair of logos that have been included in some lawsuit case. And because of this training, right now, when, for example, you search, and you see that in your the right side of the slide, this kind of logo, the algorithm will automatically find everything he thinks can be potential problem for lawsuit and propose, in fact, what is, according to him, to it, the closest logos, trademark of your initial input. So this image algorithm is a combination of several trained state-of-the-art deep learning model. As I said, I mentioned neural networks, deep learning. So it means a lot of different layers in the neural networks to do it. And we contemplate, of course, to improve that with the large language model and to see if we can even achieve better results with this new revolution. And what could come next in this field? First thing that comes in mind, is to automate and enhance the creation of unique logos, branding elements, and product designs. So you can really, for example, go with a prompt. Hey, I want a brand composed of a text and a logo, bright colors, express adventures. I want to express ecology, nature awareness, because that's really part of the DNA of my company. And of course, it needs to remind something for Europe because we are a European startup, let's say. And automatically, in fact, you can have your AI algorithm proposing you some cool logos that will be the base after for a designer to work on it, be inspired. And it would also help to inject some rules to this algorithm just to make sure the logo will not be too detailed or not be too vague. So everything that will make a logo a good logo and a trademark, in fact, respecting all the rules for the trademark filing. So make sure, for example, a brand won't confuse with another. That's another thing that could be coded into the algorithm and help you to minimize the risk when you are finding a trademark. Search assistant, yes. For example, same thing. With now the ask and question, you have the possibility to have an assistant that will help you when you ask, okay, what association do you get with the trademark names cinema? So it helps also, in fact, to make your trademark search and registration in the registration process more efficient, because quickly you will see what kind of nice classes you need to use. If, for example, you will not be too confusing with the trademark, if you are not, for example, stepping the territory of another brand. So right now at Questel, we consider also a lot of potential with the generative AI when you consider when we are considering the search assistant feature. And finally, yes, when in fact you have some infringement, you need to identify it. You know, you have many type of products coming from everywhere in the big e-commerce marketplace. More and more also, in fact, AI will help you, in fact, to analyze image and help you to conduct this very labor-intensive work, because you have plethora of online sellers, and to, for example, identify a startup's logo with the real one, you need, in fact, to automate that. You need, in fact, to have an algorithm that will help you to bring the information to you, detect quickly the differences, and support you in this use case. So it's really promising. That's really right now the future, but that's examples that where AI can help you in the field of trademark and design. So same thing, I want you to participate. This time for brands and design. You have other proposal when it comes to brand and design. Where generative AI will be the most useful for you? When is it for identify infringement? Is it when you want to provide assistance in trademark and design searches? Is it to generate new design, generate new brands, like brand naming? Or is it completely other things? So I give you some time to also answer the question. And again, thank you. A lot of you have participated, high level of participation. And we have two proposals that are really standing out. The first one, with 41% of you think that identifying infringements is key and generative AI needs, I would say, to bring solution. And second, to provide assistance in trademark and design search. So thank you very much. That's helpful data for us. And it's going to help you, in fact, to make better tool for you. Okay, last part of our webinar, other IP assets. So I wanted to also talk about that, because even if it's not yet part of the Questel work, because let's be honest, right now we are focused on patents, trademarks, designs. trade secrets and also copyrights are quite important. And for example, you have two use cases where generative AI can be really useful. So first one, trade secret prediction. Trade secret is quite vague sometimes, but we need to take it into account. We see that with, for example, recently some case in France, for example, where I'm living, where you have in fact some dispute around the trade secrets and how in fact it should be protected during inspection related to, let's say, some patent disputes. You have the EU Trade Secret Directive 2016 that is on, and it means in fact more and more people can use it to sue other companies. So be able to extract non-patentable information, but very important in regard of your business. When it's described, let's say, in an invention disclosure form, it's super important to be able, in fact, also to collect this information and register it, save it into an IPMS as a trade secret, and classify it even as a trade secret. That's really important. And you will be able, in fact, to train specific bots in charge to do that for you, where data security will, of course, be guaranteed. But it's going to be also a very relief for all the IP manager when they know that trade secrets are correctly registered, because after they can be used as a defensive weapon for all the other aggression of the market. And the other use case where we see a lot of potential is the compliance with the copyright laws. You know, AI-generated content will flood the market. It's true for the patents, the brand, but it's true for many other, in fact, market segments in the arts, everything where creativity would be important. So to know if you are not right now infringing some copyrights, to know if you have any idea when you take a content, what kind of license is associated and what are the rules associated to this license, like Creative Commons, GNU, Apache, and many other. We really need help. We really need help to avoiding infringement. We really need help, in fact, to make sure we can conduct copyright clearance correctly before using any code, any art, any documents. And just to make sure, in fact, our legal people will not overwhelmed by all that, because they are already overwhelmed, to be honest. AI can really help, in fact, to make sure we are compliant and identify the risk linked to copyrights. So that's the last poll, I promise. Just I want also to have your quick opinion about it. What is the most important caveat that will make you decide to buy an AI feature? Is it, for example, to have more data privacy and security? Is it the time saving? Is it a better UX to be user friendly? Is it data quality behind the algorithm? Is it accuracy and performance on some task and feature? What will trigger for you the choice to say, okay, AI, I need to buy this module because of that. So again, strong contribution on your hand. Thank you. So with 40%, you really praised to have accuracy and performance above all as the criteria to choose an AI feature. And it's close, not closely, but after you have two close second, data privacy and security, of course, and the fact it will also save you time. So thank you for that. Now we are reaching the end, in fact, of this webinar. Last thing I want to mention is, I think we are experiencing a ask revolution. I mention it like that, is the way we approach and we interact with software is start being disrupted. And we see it because when you go to ChatGPT, you ask questions and you get answers. You are interacting like if you are talking to real people. When you are surfing, navigating on your web browser, Bing, let's say, you have a copilot. Same thing, you can ask questions regarding what you are right now seeing in a web page, and you get answers. You have the feeling to have someone on your shoulder analyzing with you the data you are seeing in your screen. And even in some project management tool like Asana, we have seen that you have a copilot, you ask questions, you get answers. So the revolution is ongoing to really have a user-friendly interface where, let's say, technology and difficulty and the click is replaced by creativity and natural language. So of course at Questel, that's where we want to go. More user-friendly interface, no code if you want to code. Something that we didn't see really coming, but it's a big change in how, in fact, more and more you as a user will interact with our SaaS product. And we want, in fact, also to be part of this revolution. So be aware, we will also provide you everything to make sure, in fact, your new habits will be fulfilled with Questel. And of course, I need to end with the Questel trust, because data security and privacy is really important when it comes to AI. So compliance, we are certified ISO 27001. We respect GDPR. We won't do any data retention. We're going to have some procedures that will be established and transparent to make sure, in fact, you know exactly what we do with your data. When we use, for example, OpenAI or the large language model API, it's only used on public data, never on your data. And we can guarantee also we won't train our model on your data, except if it's something, for example, you want to enclose to have your user preferences. So it will be based on our, in fact, offer in this case. And of course, we are hosting all that in private data centers located in Europe. So in conclusion, IP, it's a real sweet spot for automation and artificial intelligence. It will increase efficiency and lower the risk for you. Generative AI, it's a great tool when you want to analyze, compare patents, trademark, copyright, and also a great assistance for strategical tactics or tasks like IP infringement, prior art searches, or prosecution cases. And of course, it will help you to deal with the complex and repetitive tasks when it comes to docket and IP assets, when you want to safeguard your trade secret, or when you want, in fact, to comply with your copyright laws. So Questel, as a tech leader in the IP industry, and with these new partners, qatent and IP Quants, we are committed to providing you the best of the IP, that for all IP. So thank you for watching this webinar. We will answer your questions by email directly, and we'll get contact to you quickly. Feel free also to visit our website, questel.ai. Will directly, in fact, bring you to a specific web page where we mention all our AI initiatives. And think about also reach out to sales representative if you want to know more about our exciting new tools. Have a good rest of your day and see you soon in more webinars. Bye-bye.